Hey Power One, welcome to today's reading. So we are doing the question, what is it that you need to know? So anything and everything can pop up today. We're just going to go with the flow and see what comes through. This is messages from your spirit guides on what you need to know. Before we get into the cards, I have drawn some three main energies, star signs, okay, for this Power One today. And those are Aquarius, Leo, and Pisces. So you may resonate with those. They may be in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, or these are just the main energies that are wanting to come through with the spirit guides and the cards that we have today. So let's go ahead and take a look at your cards. Okay, so let's get into your tarot and oracle. Now, I do have a spell card that I have dealt for you guys, but we're going to get to that at the end of the reading. And I'm going to start off with this Making Magic card. These have got a lot of witchy symbols and things on them, so we're going to get to that card first, and then we're going to get into the rest. So yours today says Fairy Magic. Respectfully work with the fairies and elementals to achieve your goals. So you guys might be really in connection with the fae right now. You might love working with fairies already, or you may have been thinking about, working with them. Maybe you haven't made that connection yet. Maybe some of you even have a little fairy garden or something outside in your backyard. I don't know. Maybe you do, or maybe you even have some little things on a mantelpiece, little fairy doors and things like that. But this is definitely about making a connection with the fae. The fae is definitely around you guys right now. So utilize that to the best of your ability, this connection with them at this present moment, because, they are going to be helping you guys. So let's see what we have here. And boy, guys, you got 3 major arcana out of the 5 tarot cards. So that is amazing. Plus 1 very special card. So let's get into it. We have the 8 of Swords. Yeah. We have the Star card, the Sun, and the Strength. 3 major arcana, and aren't they fantastic major arcana cards to get, guys? They are really good cards. And then, of course, we have the 10 of Cups, guys. This is fantastic. Now, we do have, in regards to your oracle cards, we have Sacrifice with Bull. We have the number 40. Obviously, that breaks down to a 4. And it's interesting, too, because we have song lines with Orca as well, and that's a 30 breaking down to a 3. So I just find 40 and 30 is interesting. And we do have in your Moonology cards, You Are Good Enough, Full Moon in Virgo, and A Time for Healing with Balsamic Moon. So let's get into this message that I'm seeing here for you guys. One thing that I obviously do want to start with is the 8 of Swords. Now, the 8 of Swords, to a lot of people, now I read these cards intuitively, guys, so yes, I do go by the traditional meanings sometimes, but I also take, of course, my own interpretations and what I'm feeling at the time. And a lot of people, of course, we do know the 8 of Swords to be that card of like limiting beliefs, sort of feeling stuck and sort of not knowing how to get out of this sort of entrapment, right? But it's a mental entrapment, right? Because it's the Suit of Swords, right? So this is all about the divine masculine stuff. So this is a mental entrapment. But now if we look at the 9, which obviously comes after the 8, this is, the 9 of Swords can talk about worries and anxiety and depression and things. But actually, I feel like the 8 of Swords to me sometimes does represent that kind of anxiety thinking, not necessarily in the sense of the panic that anxiety can bring, but more how when, anyone that experiences anxiety or that's had anxiety will know that, it's sometimes something hard where you can't kind of shut your brain off. Your brain just wants to keep overthinking things, and it's running at like a million, miles an hour. It's just going so fast. And I kind of sometimes feel like the Eight of Swords can be that energy as well. Because it's not always, I don't feel, just about limiting beliefs as in, people are telling you how to think or telling you how to believe, which telling you what to believe, sorry, which could be the case here, right? Because I am sensing that this can be a part of it as well. But I just want to tap into a little bit of this anxiety, because I'm kind of feeling there might be a bit of this, but like I said, in the sense of overthinking or just, not being able to kind of shut the mind off. And I feel like some of you guys, have been wanting to get out of this way of thinking, but it's like, I don't know how to shut it off. I don't know how to stop this sort of pattern of thinking, right, that I've gotten myself into. And we do have the sacrifice here with the bull. So, and I'm kind of feeling that this sacrifice, I mean, the Ten of Cups obviously is a very positive card, and I think that this is something that you're working towards, because we do have, working with the Fae to achieve your goals and things like that. And I think, your general overall happiness, we do have the Sun card here and stuff, in terms of setting yourself up with a family, some kind of stability, those kinds of things. I think that's what you're looking for, but I do also get this kind of feeling that perhaps this has been part of a sacrifice as well. There could have been something here for some of you. All right, this isn't going to resonate with all of you, of course, because this is a general reading. Have been dealing with family, and there's been some kind of a sacrifice there with the family. So in the sense of, I'm feeling like you've had to sacrifice yourself. So I'm feeling this is like more, to me, I'm getting the energy of like a self-sacrifice that you guys have had to endure, right? Or go through in that's put you sort of in this Eight of Swords energy, yeah. But, and I look at this sacrifice card, and, we do have the bull, and I think about how bulls, charge forward, right? They're headstrong, they're charging forward. For some of you, I'm feeling like this could be you guys too, a bit on your guard as well, feeling a bit like as if everybody's kind of got that red flag out and you guys are kind of like, ready to charge. But I think it's the situation that you've been put in, that you've been in recently, in this sacrifice that's sort of made you that way. You know what I mean? That's put you in that sort of position. But what I'm seeing with the lightning here too, this speaks to me of power, right? Of having the power. And we do have the strength card here. So I feel like whatever this is, right, that you guys have been going through, you have the strength to keep going, to pull through, right? Like the bull that charges forward. You guys have the strength to do that. And we see here on the strength card, I have absolutely no idea what this creature is, but something, out of this world. But, look, it's making me think of like an alligator or something, where he's got his face there, right in this creature's mouth. And, being very courageous, right? Daredevil kind of energy. But, this is, strength can talk about determination. It can talk about stamina as well, right? And I feel like you guys have had that. And I want to point out to you guys, please do, if you guys are interested at all, watch my little video. It is a short one, guys. It's under 30 minutes on the card of strength. because, I talk about, the meaning of strength. But I mainly brought it up because when I did that particular chat video, there was a lot of people in my surroundings and people that I chatted to, and myself even, who were doubting their own personal power and strength and saying, oh, I'm not a strong person, but yet they'd gone through so many things and come out the other side. And I really wanted to put that focus on the fact that, we often overlook that in ourselves. We don't see the strength within us. And, the fact that you're here, the fact that you woke up to a new day, that shows strength, that shows courage, right? That shows determination, so many things. So you guys might be interested in watching that one. So I'll just point that out to you there. But generally, I just want to remind you guys that you do have the strength and you've had the strength. Okay. It's not just about, attaining it. And I did speak about this in my video as well. I think we often look for strength in outer sources, but it's within us. It's that personal power thing that we have inside of us. So it's just a matter of letting it out. But oftentimes we are, tapping into that, perhaps even on a subconscious level, but we're not fully aware. And so we sit here and we talk ourselves down and we say, oh, I'm not strong. I haven't achieved anything. I haven't really done anything. I struggle to pull through with these things. But the fact that you got through, that you're here talking about these experiences that you've had, this sacrifice that you guys, right, have been through, you've gotten through. If you hadn't, you wouldn't be here listening to my reading, right? So that's strength right there. And I do feel like, Spirit is backing you up with a little bit more of that right now, or at least, with this reading, perhaps even wanting to make you more aware that strength is there and it's within you, so that you can keep, pushing forward. Because, we have the Sun card here and we have the Star, right? Now, the Star can, yes, be about wish fulfillment and things. So perhaps, there's something that you've really been hoping for, really been wishing on, and wanting. And maybe you've even literally asked for it. Maybe you've asked the universe for it. And this can talk about sort of that wish granted type scenario. But it's also a card of hope, right? Of having that faith, belief in yourself, right? That you can do this, that, and it's that little, it's like when you look up at the night sky, right? Because this is the Star card here. It's like when you look up at the night sky and you see those little shiny sparkles of light, right? And in that moment when you look up, at least for me, it's like so magical, right? I mean, I still, from a kid, I think it's just a really, really magical thing. And yes, we always hope to see a shooting star. I actually did see a shooting star once, and it happened that quickly that I didn't have enough time to think of a wish and make a wish, and so it passed me by. And I may never see another one, so I don't know. But they are very, very magical, right, in the sky. And so we see these beautiful stars and they're glistening, and you do think when you look up at them, you go, oh, like, when we see beauty and things like that, it does kind of give us that magical feeling, right? And it is kind of that feeling of hope and wishful thinking, right? And magic, like I said, but it's that believe in the impossible type kind of stuff as well. Yeah. So I just think, guys, that this is that little nod to you guys that don't lose that hope, because you have the strength, you're pulling through. And we have the Sun card here, guys. And, the Sun talks about happiness, right? Maybe for some of you, I'm sort of hearing too, you need to get out into the sun a bit more. I mean, with this 8 of Swords here, she seems sort of trapped in the tower. It's making me think a lot of Rapunzel, right? How she was trapped in the tower, or any kind of fairy tale along those lines, because we did have a similar thing in Shrek, the movie Shrek, right? How she was trapped in the tower. And, so you guys might not have been seeing literally a lot of light. So this is time now for you guys to take that step out and, really feel that warmth, that sun, that happiness, that warmth on your face. And these two here look like they're dancing, look like they're having fun in the sun. So, this is definite, happy times ahead for you guys. But I feel like this is what you've been wishing upon too. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys I just want to get out of this entrapment. And I'm saying that word entrapment again. I don't know. It just keeps coming to my mind. But it's like you guys have been maybe waiting on your knight in shining armor, right, to come and save you, to pull you out from your tower, right? Now I'm thinking of Joanna, the girl that was trapped in the room in Sweeney Todd. There's several examples I could use for that sort of, notion of someone, what do they call them? There is a word, and I can't think of it right now. Damsel in distress. Yes, right. And that doesn't mean to say that, you have to be female gender. It's not gender specific, but you see what I'm getting at, right? So there is some kind of sacrifice that I feel like you guys have made. And, for some of you, this can be, like I said, beliefs that have been put on you. And I'm looking at this kind of looks like a church too. So I do think sometimes this can be, I don't want to get into anything here to the point where I obviously don't want to offend anyone. So please don't take it that way. But it could be some kind of religious beliefs too that might be making you feel like perhaps you're unable to live life the way you would really want to live it. For instance, and I'm if I can say this right, hopefully without offending you guys, I'm yes and no about it, because I think about being brought up in religion. I just personally myself, I haven't had children yet. I do hope to one day, and I do kind of want them to make up their own minds. And there are certain things that I believe in and that I use in everyday life. Like, for instance, I am a Wiccan witch, but I'm not, going to say to my kids, well, you're going to be Wiccan witches as well, or something like that. I don't want to put any of that onto my kids. Sorry, I realize I'm probably crossing a line here, guys, with my opinions, but so you may have felt like, I've been grown up in this family, and we've had this, belief system and so on and so forth. And, but maybe you don't think you really believe in that sort of stuff, or maybe you just feel like it is, it doesn't work with who you are, or something. So, I mean, that can play a part too. It can be something to do with that. But also it can just be too, like, the way that other people have been. And I'm saying this, as it's coming from an outer source. But of course, like I said, a lot of it can come from ourselves as well. But, you may have had people sort of talking down to you, or saying, you need to think like this, or you need to act like that. And maybe that, in that sense, you feel like you've had a lot of pressure to be a certain something or be a certain someone. In that sense, there's that feeling trapped, feeling stuck. But also too, perhaps the way that people have acted with you, if it was perhaps family, even for some of you, like I said earlier, again, it's not going to resonate with everybody. but you may have felt like those beliefs are sort of stuck with you now. And even though you may have that opportunity right now to break free from those, you still sort of feel like subconsciously you're not aware of how to get rid of those kinds of thoughts. But again, like I said, in other terms, it can be self-inflicted, to where it's not, I say that, and that sounds, as if like we wish that upon ourselves, which of course we don't, but it can just be something that sort of naturally happened maybe over time. And and again, like I said, it can be something even in terms of like anxiety, of like that overthinking, or the brain just sort of not allowing you to sort of think a bit more freely. You know what I mean? And this can be something like even OCD and things too. Because I'll be straight up with you guys, I have OCD. And a lot of people think that it is just we're just a bit wacky because we like having things lined up a certain way. And let me tell you, it is different for everybody too. It's not always the same. But for me, I find, OCD, I'm not going to go into it because we're not here to talk about mental health specifically, but I just want to say that, it is a difficult thing to deal with. So if you are dealing with OCD, I definitely know what you're going through. But it is a sort of a mental sort of thought process that sometimes you wish you could sort of get out of, that way of thinking, and it does take quite a while. I've been working a lot on this over the years, and it's taking me a long time to get to where I am with it. So yes, but anyway, so let's move on. So we do have a time for healing. So yes, so you guys are either in this process of healing right now, so you're aware, perhaps for some of you, that this is a little bit more past tense with the sacrifice and the Eight of Swords, and you're coming into this sun energy, gaining that strength, or not gaining, because I said it's not an outer source, but sort of pulling from that strength that you have within you, right? Tapping into those resources. And, for others of you, this time for healing is coming. And, Spirit is just letting you know that now is the time to start, working on that healing process for yourself. And again, we have the card, You Are Good Enough. So this is about you believing in yourself. This is about you understanding that, and again, this ties up with those limiting beliefs, right? Telling yourself that you are good enough. So like I said, I did get that sense for some of you, it could be people maybe have been talking you down a little bit. Maybe you've had those experiences, or you're doing that to yourself. You're talking yourself down a lot and saying you're not good enough. And, this is about breaking free from that. And I understand that that's not necessarily a quick process, but, the end is in sight, because we do have such fantastic, like I said, 3 major arcana here that came out for you guys, and that sun card is there. So happiness is right around the corner for you guys. Now, we do have the 10 of Cups, so we do need to talk about the 10 of Cups. And just before actually I get into that, before I forget, I do want to say we did pull the Aquarius and the Leo out as well previous. So, and we do have Aquarius and Leo here in the major arcana. So I think that is fantastic. I just want to point that out. So that's confirmed there. So yes, with this 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups, of course, I mean, this is like one of the ultimate cards in the deck, right? And, this is about emotional fulfillment. This is happiness. In the standard Rider-Waite, of course, they have the rainbow. And, of course, here we just have, a big super moon at the back there. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can see in these cards, because I love the artwork in these cards. And no matter how many times you look at them, you still find new things. But I think, it's interesting too, because you've got the guy, he's got the sword, and then you've got the little kid here holding the pentacle, and you've got one kid here holding the wand. That's interesting. So we've kind of got all the suits, and then, of course, she's the cup, I assume. Wow, yeah, that's cool. So we have a little Viking ship at the back as well. This is very interesting. You never notice all these things first up sometimes. But yeah, so this is happiness. This is you guys reaching your emotional fulfillment. Yeah. I mean, look, we have a family here. This could talk about family. Maybe this is happier family times for your current situation, or this is future family that we're talking about. But in general, I feel like this is just you guys finding that emotional fulfillment. However, we do also have the card here, Songlines with Orca. And first of all, I want to say she is laying here like she's dreaming. So some of you guys may be having very vivid dreams right now, or spirit may be sending you messages within your dreams. And I also am thinking, because this is a family of whales here, I am thinking that perhaps family for some of you is something that you're wanting to obtain. And, this could even just be not necessarily, because family can be anything really, right? We can be talking about a lifelong partner and having children, but we could also be talking about like soul family, soul tribe, right? So some really good friends or people that we just really connect with on a soul level. So whatever it is for you guys, right? You may have been dreaming about this too. You might have been having, some sort of, prophecies or something in your dreams, some kind of, even visitation dreams or something like that. But this can pertain to the star as well. So maybe this is something you've been wishing upon, right? But what I want to say about this card, and it's interesting because lately, when I was a kid, right, I used to love Free Willy. Has anyone seen the movie Free Willy? If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a 90s movie, but it is so good. And if you do have children, they'll love this film. They're going to cry at the end because I bawled my eyes out in the cinemas, but it is a beautiful film. And essentially, the film is about a young boy who is adopted into a new family. And, he's obviously going through a lot of difficult emotions. So he's being a bit rebellious, and he ends up graffitiing on a, it's like, it's not really an aquarium, but it's, where they teach sea life to do tricks and things like that, where you go see the dolphins and all that kind of stuff. And they have this big whale, and his name's Willie. And anyway, the boy, they found out that the boy was the one that did the graffiti on the windows, and so they asked him to come back and to clean up his mess as his punishment, right? So he comes back to clean it up, and then, of course, Willie the whale comes up to the window, and the boy gets scared, and he runs off initially, and then he thinks, wait a minute, and then he comes back, and he's like, wow, and he's like this big whale, and starts making friends with the whale, and then they start bringing him in to see the whale every day, and then eventually he starts learning to teach the whale tricks and things like that, and he becomes the whale's friend. And towards the end, of course, the whale starts making all these really sad noises, and the boy says something's wrong, something's not right. He's unhappy, and he's trying to figure out why. And then he realizes that he has a family, that this whale has a family out in the ocean. And the whale's sad because he's not with his family. So the whole movie, basically, I'm ruining this for you guys now. By the way, I've completely spoiled the entire movie if you've never seen it. And then they basically go to try and free Willie. I'll leave it at that. before I ruin anything. So it makes me think of the Free Willy. Now, Michael Jackson did a song for this movie, which was a really cool song, and I was singing that the other day, and I had it in my head, and so I put it on YouTube, and I've got the lyrics here because I want to. When I pulled this card out initially, when I was shuffling, I straight away got these lyrics up because I was thinking about this song. And I was wondering, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to need to reference this or not, but I'll have them here just in case. And you know what? I'm going to reference them. So, and it does say song lines too, so, But, so I want to reference this bit here. So this may mean something to you guys, but you may want to look up this song. So it's called Will You Be There? And again, Michael Jackson, right? So everyone's taking control of me. Seems that the world's got a role for me. I'm so confused. Will you show it to me? You'll be there for me and care enough to bear me. Hold me, lay your head lowly, softly then boldly, carry me there. Lead me, love me and feed me, kiss me and free me. I will feel blessed. Right? You guys might want to look up this song, but I just wanted to reference that. So. And I do feel like perhaps, you've been calling out to, your family in a sense, in a spiritual sense, or some kind of soul tribe or something to where you're connected with similar people or people that are, like I said, on a soul level, right? So that can be something there for some of you guys. But I feel more with the song lines too. It's kind of about, it makes me think about going your own way, and sort of following your own heart and soul. I don't have the book for this deck with me, guys. Sorry. So I can't reference it, but just intuitively, I'm just feeling like this is you kind of just wanting to follow your own path and do your own thing. And again, I think that goes back to that Eight of Swords with that limiting beliefs. And I think maybe you're, I mean, she's obviously human, and of course we have all these wows here. So maybe you're, there's something different in the family, and maybe you feel like your family doesn't really understand you. And I keep coming back to family. So I don't know if this really is a family situation, guys. You're going to have to let me know if you'd like to let me know. Of course, you don't have to. But this could just be you just feeling, knowing that you're different, right? Knowing that you're unique, and that you have, something that's a little different to everybody else. But I mean, we're all different, right, guys? But yeah, you may be feeling a little bit like the black sheep. But so, okay, so let's go ahead and sum this up now, guys. So what I'm getting is that, yes, you guys have been through some kind of sacrifice that's taken place that could relate to that, directly to that Eight of Swords energy. So this could be your mind at play here that's sort of been holding you back. But there could have also been like a literal sacrifice that you had made. And, you've obviously, I would say, been wishing upon a change here, guys. And, Spirit is really wanting to tell you guys that, they've been listening, they've been hearing you out, and that, you have the strength within you to keep going, to pull forward. And again, that message here with the full moon in Virgo, you are enough. And you guys are coming into happiness because we have the Sun card and we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, and I do feel like that's something that you guys have been wanting, of course, to reach that point of happiness, fulfillment for yourself and what it is that you truly want. And again, Spirit is telling you guys to, connect with the Fae right now if you feel called to, because they are helping you guys right now, and they are around you in your energy field. But this is a time for healing for you guys. And, like I always say about healing, and I've definitely learnt this myself now, it takes as long as it takes. So be gentle with yourself, be kind. Okay. I know it's hard, especially with this Eight of Swords energy. But like I said, remember that you guys are good enough and you do have the strength. and that sun card is there. Remember that the sun is there. So I am now going to get into your spell card. So let's see what you guys got. So, okay, so guys, we got a healing spell for you. Let's see what it says. I feel pretty. Many witches prefer whipping up their own healing beauty magic. Here's a simple recipe for a homemade salt rub. The beauty of this recipe is that you can change the essential oils to suit your mood. So what you guys need to do is I had to pause that for 2 seconds, guys, because I had to Google how to pronounce something. And I never say this right. Okay, so we've got 3 cups of Epsom salts, 1 tablespoon of glycerin, 4 drops of, and this is what I had to look up, ylang ylang, 1 drop of jasmine, and 1 drop of clary sage. Ylang ylang. Oh gosh, guys, I don't know if I'm saying that right still. It makes me think of, did anyone ever see, I don't know if you guys watched the Graham Norton show, but they had Benedict Cumberbatch on there at one point, and Graham was saying, all your fans have asked me to see if you can say the word penguin, and he's like, oh God, and they showed him basically narrating a documentary, and he kept saying penguins, and he couldn't say penguins properly. Jeez. So it's very, very funny if you want to look that up. But yeah, so ylang ylang. But that could be very helpful for you guys. Mix well and store in a colored, jar. Mix well and store in a colored glass jar. So you can use these salts with the body purification ritual to help exfoliate your skin. So there would be another card in here that's got a body purification ritual. But that may be very helpful for you guys at this time. Now I'm stumbling on my words. Now I've mentioned that I couldn't pronounce the ylang ylang. So that is your reading today, guys. I really hope that this was helpful for you, or at least gave you some clarifications as to what you might be going through right now. And thank you very much for joining me. And if you did like today's reading, please let me know by liking. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I love that you're a part of the fam. And, you know, if this did resonate with you and you wish to say something, please let me know down in the comments, because I like to read those too. Thanks very much, guys, and take care. Bye. Part 2. So welcome to today's reading. We are asking the question, what do you need to know right now from your spirit guides? So anything is possible today. Anything could come up. We're just going to go with the flow. I started off, I have dealt 3 star signs as possible main energies for this reading. You may have them in your chart somewhere, sun, moon, rising. So we have Virgo, we have Aquarius, and we have Aries. Okay, now let's get on to your cards. So now I have drawn all 3 piles today a little spell card, which we are going to get to at the end of the reading. But I've also drawn a card from the Making Magic deck. These have a lot of witchy symbols on them. And the card that I pulled for you guys today says, on target, follow your ideal life path. So that is a message there for you guys. Now we have some tarot and oracle to get through. So for your tarot today, we have the Empress, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the 9 of Cups, we have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 might be an important number for you guys at the moment. We have the 6 of Cups. For your oracle, we have number 18, Transformation, Sea Otter. And again, 8 and 1 is a 9, right? We have creation with snake, and that is a 43, breaking down to a 7. We also have believe in the impossible with blue moon, and look at the bigger picture with full moon in Sagittarius. So let's get into what we're seeing here. So, I mean, of course, we do have this on target card. So follow your ideal life path. For some of you, I feel like this is saying you're already on target. You're already on your way to these goals. And for others of you, you are just figuring out, and I'm kind of seeing someone like aiming the target, you know what I mean? Trying to get it in alignment. So I feel like some of you guys are just figuring this out. And others of you are well on your way. So I want to talk, first of all, I think, about the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, of course, a creative suit, and the Ace being new beginnings, right, guys? And also, you know, it's just new in general, like new ideas, new inspiration, right? New beginnings, new things. So you guys may have been receiving some new ideas lately, maybe some downloads even from spirit, just, you know, fresh ideas, I feel like. Because we do have here on this card, the Ace of Wands too. I really love the artwork on these cards. I mean, there's just so much you can see in them. And she's got little trees growing out of her head. So I just feel like, you know, you guys have really been getting some ideas, or if you haven't already, you're about to, and you know, these are about to sprout. Like, it's like you're planting the seeds, right? And these are going to start to grow. And also too, with the fact that she's holding on to this little baby in the pod here, it makes me think of the Empress, which we do have, and how this can be about, you know, the birthing of something new, a new idea, a new project. For some of you, yes, of course, the Empress can represent literal birth, but I'm sensing for most of you that this is more on a creative side of things, so a project, some kind of yeah, just a project. I'm trying to think of, there was another word that I wanted to use, guys, but it's passed me by. If it comes back, I'll let you know. So yeah, and I mean, the way she's holding this little baby too, you know, nurturing it, you know, I feel like, you know, this is something from the beginning that you guys are really going to take your time with, make sure that, you know, it's done right. You know, yeah. And with the Empress being here, of course, like I said, you know, this is you stepping into your own power. This is you sort of really tapping into the creativity that you have, all your resources, I'm hearing, guys. So all of the resources that you have to pull this together. Now, this here with the Nine of Cups could be something, I mean, this one is interpreted with the genie. So, you know, you literally could have wished for this. This could be something that, you know, you guys have really been wishing to bring into existence. And of course, you know, if it's a goal, if it's something that we want, of course we, you know, we can say it's a wish, right? Because it's something that we desire. But I mean, in the literal sense of, you know, you guys might have literally put that out into the universe that you wish for this to happen. And it's funny because I did mention that exactly that in pile one. So maybe you guys might have been connected a little bit with pile one. But so yeah, and you know, I feel like, you know, and it's like that thing where, you know, you rub the lamp and then the genie comes out and he says, you know, I think the typical thing is, isn't it, you've got like 3 wishes. But of course we have 9 cups here. So, you know, I kind of feel like this genie is coming out and saying, you've got 9 wishes. What would you like? maybe you have more than that, but I feel like this is, sort of in relation to quite a few things that I feel like you guys want to head towards or work towards. Or if it is just one main goal, I feel like there's perhaps a lot of components to this goal. So there's a lot of like little things to achieve within this main goal. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm just trying to see what else I can get from this card. But yeah, so the Nine of Cups generally is just about, going for your dreams and your goals. And, and I always think too on the traditional Rider-Waite deck, he looks really smug the way he's kind of sitting there, like, yes, almost like, as if like he's already achieved everything that he's wanted to get. Or he's pretty sure that he's on that right path, right, to obtaining it. And so he's got that kind of smug like look of like, yeah, that's right, look at me. And you guys may be feeling that energy right now. And this may be that bit of, momentum that's, pushing you guys forward with all of this. Yeah. But yeah, this is just heading towards your goals. For some of you, this is you just figuring out maybe what your goals are, or what it is that you want or you would like to achieve and do. Like I said, if this is a new idea that's come through, this could be just figuring this part out right now and going, okay, so how do I obtain this? What are the like I said, it's kind of like breaking it down into parts and going, okay, what are the steps, right? I need to achieve this first. I need to get to that stage and then to that stage. And for some of you, I feel like maybe there's like 9, metaphorically speaking, stages or something, right, that you kind of have to get through or go through to get to where you really want to be. But we do have the 9 of Pentacles here as well. And of course, this talks about, independence. Again, this is very much like Empress energy where she's really in her power, her personal power. Again, guys, don't take this to be gender specific. So, whoever's watching, just take it to resonate how you will. But, she's got this tree here and it's got these pentacles going on. I'm sorry, did I say the 9? This isn't the 9, this is the 7, guys. I do apologize, I said the 9. But you know what? There's probably a reason why I said the 9. This is obviously where you guys are wanting to head to, right? Getting to that stage of independence, getting to that point of, being able to, I'm kind of feeling like it's that smugness. I'm just getting that, but not in a negative way or anything, not in a egotistic way or anything, just that feeling of like being able to hold your head up, high and say, yes, this is what I've achieved. Yes, this is who I am. Being able to walk into a room and being that presence. You know what I mean? So I feel like some of you guys, that's probably why I said the 9. Sorry, guys, it is the 7. Interesting, yeah. But sorry, it is the 7. It is the 7. So the 7, now I take this a little bit differently to some other people, right? There's meanings out there that, yes, it says sometimes that there's like a disappointment or you're getting bored and you feel like you've put all this effort into something and nothing's coming of it. That may be true for some of you. So if you do resonate with that, sorry, I'm not discounting those feelings or if that is true for some of you. But I feel more it's like just not everything happens overnight. Not everything is an instant success. Not everything is something that we can achieve in, a day's time. It's like that saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And so sometimes, we do need to take our time with something. Either it's like we need to take time with it in the sense of, we know that it's not something that can be achieved quickly, or sometimes it's not needing to necessarily pace ourselves with what it is that we're trying to achieve. Maybe we're going, hard on with it, but the results are a little delayed, or the results are something that's going to still take some time, despite your progress with it, or how you might be moving forward with whatever it is that you're working on, which we assume to be something creative here, right? Because this is all making me feel like. But yeah, she's got, I mean, look, there's blood coming out of the tree, which, well, technically would be sap, but it's in here, it's depicted as blood. So, and I kind of feel like, this is all the blood and sweat that she's gone through, or he's gone through, right? To get to where they've gotten to with having these 7 pentacles already grown. I just don't see this as necessarily negative, or in any way. And I hate saying that. I don't think any of the tarot cards are negative, so I shouldn't really say that, because I think they're all informative, right? It's all things that can help us to be the best that we can be, to grow, so I don't really see necessarily the cards as negative. I just think that they're just packed with a lot of knowledge for us, right? It's life lessons and things like that. But anyways, so she's obviously put a lot of effort into what she's got so far with these 7 of Pentacles. And, there's 7 already there. So in my opinion, guys, what I'm hearing is don't give up, right? Because I think that's what we do. A lot of the times we give up when we are faced with a challenge or some kind of obstacle, right? Or we just feel like something isn't happening in the way that we wanted it to, like it's not happening at the pace that we wanted it to. Because, like I said, sometimes, yes, the 7 does talk about things happening at quite a slow, steady pace, right? But if you look at the hare and the tortoise story, right, slow and steady won the race. So I think, we don't have the card temperance here, but I think this can be a bit of patience as well. And we do have this card here, believing in the impossible. So I feel like that is kind of in relation to what I'm feeling from this 7 of Pentacles, which is like, don't give up. You can still have what you're trying to achieve. It can still come to fruition. And like I said, you've already got 7 pentacles here. 8, 9, 10. 10's the best in the deck, right? You've got 3 more pentacles to go, or to grow, if we're talking about the picture on this card here of growing from the tree, right? So why give up now? So I'm hearing, this believe in the impossible. Now, like I said, this is for some of you that already feel like you're on target, as in you're already on your way to something, okay? Now, for those of you that, this could be a brand new idea that's coming through, this is something that, maybe this is to do with, so maybe you've already had like a goal in mind. For some of you, there's something that you wanted to work towards, but you're like, okay, how can I make this happen? And maybe with this Ace of Wands, that spirit coming in and saying, okay, well, we're going to give you an idea that can really get you to this goal, right? So that can be that case too, right, for some of you. But like I said, for those of you that don't feel like they're in this midst of the 7 of Pentacles, right? So maybe you're like, well, I haven't really, if we're talking metaphorically, haven't planted anything recently, right? So I don't know what this 7 of Pentacles is talking about. This is the energy to come. But what you're working on may take some time, and it may take your patience. And you may feel like, yes, but I'm giving this all I've got, and it's not happening in the way that I wanted it to. It's not happening as fast as I expected it to. But again, it's that slow and steady wins the race. And it's believing in the impossible, right? That, it can happen. And I do honestly believe that, the universe, right, spirit, you know, or God, whatever you believe, right, guys, sees our efforts, right? And we do get rewarded for those efforts. But I think what happens is a lot of the times we you know, it's like that believe in the impossible. We lose that faith in ourselves or the project that we're working on because we're not seeing the fruits of our labor instantly. And so we say to ourselves, well, okay, obviously this is not right, or this isn't going to work out, and we give up. We are too quick to shut it down and say, no, right, okay. And trust me, guys, I am speaking from experience with this. There are so many projects that I could list off to you right now that I started and I did not finish simply because I turned away when I thought, okay, this doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, or this didn't happen, you know, instantly like I thought it would. I didn't get instant recognition from this. I didn't get, you know, and you can talk about my channel right now. Now, I will tell you something, right? Like I said, I've been through a lot of projects that I didn't follow through with. And I do look back to myself now and think I should have probably persevered a bit more with that, and I could have made something of it, but I gave up, right? And I'm here with this YouTube channel. I've been on my YouTube channel now for, I actually don't know. I think it's about 2 months, guys. I'm going to say the 2-month mark, right? I have 16 subscribers. I am very, very grateful for those 16 subscribers. If you are one of them, thank you so much. But it didn't happen overnight, you know, and, you know, I'd be lying if I said that there wasn't a glimmer of hope in me that thought, hey, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'll have like 100 subscribers. Didn't happen, right? Not to say that it can't, but it didn't happen, but that's okay. And you know, for once I told myself, no, keep going with it, because I believe in what I'm doing here, right? And I want to get these messages out to you guys. I want to offer my guidance and, you know, use my talents here with the tarot and things like that, and put myself out there to the world, right? So, you know, no, I'm not going to give up on it. I am staying strong with this, and I know that it's going to grow more over time, and it has been. You know, that's the thing, and it's exciting. You know, one day I'll wake up, okay, not much of a difference. Then I'll wake up the next day, you've got 2 more subscribers, and I go, ooh, I got 2 more subscribers. Yes, we've moved ahead just a little bit further, and you know. Just because the day before nothing was really happening, nothing went on, I didn't turn my back. I didn't turn around and say, oh, well, that's it, I'm giving up. I kept persevering and I held that faith. I believed in the impossible. I woke up the next day, 2 more subscribers. Congratulations. I do think, yes, guys, we are rewarded for our hard work. But I think too, guys, there is a little bit of a contradiction there, because I do also think it depends to, because you may be saying, you know, well, I've put a lot of effort into something and I didn't get anything out of it, Abby. So what are you talking about, right? So just to clarify with that bit there, because I do understand, if any of you are thinking that right now, I do understand, because what I mean to say is, right, the universe will provide, the universe will reward us for our hard efforts if it's something that aligns with us, if it's something that, it's either one of the two things, right? See, the spirit or the universe or God, you know, like I said, whatever you believe in, right, guys, knows that something is for our highest good. If there's something that we're destined to be, to do, right, it will happen. Even if it doesn't in the way that we expected, even if it's, you know, idea number 3 or 4 or whatever, right, version number 3, and we've revised this over and over, we will get there because it's meant for us, or because it is at the same level as us, the same vibration. It aligns, like I said, with our soul purpose, or a part of our reason for being who we are, or why we're here, right? So it does. And the other reason is if the universe, spirits, angels, God, like all our whole team, right, can see that it's something that we truly desire. If the universe sees that, yes, I can see that they actually really want this with all their heart and soul. Okay, I'm gonna make this happen, right? So the thing here is, guys, don't give up. Okay, keep going with it. Yes, there may be some patience required. Yes, you may not be seeing all the fruits of your labor just yet, but you will. Okay, you will. So we're going into the Six of Cups here. Now, this is interesting because, this could be a revisit for some of you guys. This just might be for a small few of you. You may be revisiting a project or an idea, and perhaps I'm hearing with this Ace of Wands, Spirit's going to give you a new way of looking at this, or a new fresh idea to start this project up again. So for some of you, this is something perhaps that you attempted in the past, or you had the idea to do in the past, and maybe you've even forgotten about it. And now I'm mentioning this Six of Cups energy, you're going, oh yeah, actually there was a few things that I wanted to do, or there was something that I wanted to do, that I guess I'd still be interested in doing, but I just didn't follow through, or I didn't, it didn't come off, something like that. Again, it could have been that, Seven of Pentacles talk that we just had. And, Spirit's going, okay, we're bringing it back, but you're going to need to refresh this. It's like clicking the refresh button on your computer, right? It's been a long time. You're going to need to look at this from a fresh perspective. Or there's the way that what you were trying to do it back then, is not going to work now. So we've got to switch this up a bit. And the universe is going to bring you guys, or Spirit's going to bring you guys a new way of doing this. So there's that new inspiration, that new idea coming through for you guys. And the Six of Cups can talk about, inner child stuff as well. And of course, we do have depicted on this card here the puppet show here with Punch and Judy, and we've got the kids watching on and having fun. So this could very well have been something that speaks to your inner child, or it's something that maybe you wanted to do when you're a kid, and maybe you're revisiting something that you've always wanted to do. Sorry, guys, from your childhood. So that is something there too with that Six of Cups. Now we do also have the card Look at the Bigger Picture, Full Moon in Sagittarius. So yeah, for some of you guys, like I said, if this is a revisit, or it's you guys needing to hear that, there's that motivation to keep going, right? Keep heading towards the target. There may be a need to try and see the bigger picture. Oftentimes we are focused on certain aspects, or, because my dad always used to say, right, and it's not, it didn't come from my dad solely. He didn't create this, all right? People say it all the time, but my dad, was always on about it. If, you have a problem, right, and you need to find a solution, break it down into little bits, right? And then work on those little bits one by one, and all of a sudden the problem doesn't seem so big anymore, right? I want to say this in reverse to you guys. Maybe that's what you're doing. You're focusing on these little things, but you've forgotten about the big picture. You've forgotten what it is you're doing. It's kind of like I'm seeing Spirit showing me like working on a puzzle, right? And we can have like 1,000-piece puzzle, right, that we're working on. And we're there and we're just so focused on a corner, or, some little detail in the picture, that we've forgotten what the whole picture is actually about and what we're actually trying to piece together, right? So for some of you, I feel like that's that kind of a thing where you guys need to just take a step back and go, okay, well, hang on. Let's just refocus here, right? So I do feel like for some of you, it's a refocus sort of thing as well, for a project. And then we do have the card of transformation as well with the sea otter. And we do have the fish coming out of the water here too. I feel like for some of you guys, this can be a bit of an outside of the box sort of project or idea or creative thing that you guys are working on. This new idea might be a bit, it's kind of like, the fish swimming against the stream. Or maybe it's also too, the fish is out of water. So maybe you're feeling a bit like a fish out of water right now. And you're unsure as to how to proceed forward or what to do with this idea. If you have already got this idea, like I said, for some of you, you've got the idea. You just need to know, that you need that confirmation, that reassurance to keep going, to keep moving towards it. And for others of you, this idea is yet to come, but, you may feel a bit like a fish out of water. But, there's a transformation in process here. Right. And I do feel like, a transformation, sort of in the sense of you guys, like, again, like that, looking at it, at the bigger picture, seeing it in a different light, seeing it in another way, finding another way to think about how to perhaps, bring this to fruition. And then, like I said, with that Ace of Wands, this idea might be coming to you. But it's still going to require some, work on your end, of course. And maybe, it's the transformation in the sense of that Seven of Pentacles too. Maybe, you think things have been a bit of a stalemate. If you're already on your way to this target and you're thinking, I've wished upon this, I've set the goals, I've tried to head in this direction. I'm trying to take on that Empress energy, right? I'm standing in my personal power. I believe in this idea. Again, believing in the impossible, right? But still, this the Seven of Pentacles, it's not really coming off the way that I thought. Like I mentioned about accidentally the Nine of Pentacles, which is where I feel like you guys are really wanting to be. Why aren't I at this Nine of Pentacles yet, right? But, maybe there's still a bit of transforming to do, and it could be within yourself for some of you. And for others of you, it's, more a transformation within your project or the thing that you're working on. And, I do think that you guys, once you start seeing a bit of that action, a bit of that transformation, a bit of that change in energy, perhaps that's what's going to help propel you guys even further forward, because, it's maybe that changing your opinion as well. Maybe you're thinking, this is impossible, this isn't happening. But, that little bit of a change, like I said, in energy, that transformation is going to help you to see that, okay, maybe this isn't as impossible as I thought. Yeah. So, and we also have creation here with the snake card. So yeah, this is definitely something creative, I feel like, for you guys. And I do feel like, because we have the gold heart here, that this is something that you guys, this has come from the heart. And again, snakes, right? They transform, they shed their skin. So this idea may have gone through a few, like I said, I mentioned about versions, right? So you may be on version 3 of this idea, going, okay, I've tried this several different ways and it just hasn't worked out. Maybe, or it's you that's going through this shedding skin, this transformation, right? Because we do have on this the otter card, right? She's wearing the fur, the otter. She's got as a coat. And, yeah, so it's like she's something else underneath, right? So I do feel like, yeah, this is you guys. And again, this is making me think too how snakes can move quite slowly, how they slither through the grass. Sorry, guys. And they move quite slowly. So, again, it's that thing of like, yes, it may have taken its time, but you're going to get there. And we can see here on this creation card as well, the roots have been planted. You guys have planted those roots. And the trees are growing. Look, the tree's growing up the top here, out through the top of the heart. So hold on to your vision, guys. Hold on to this idea. Keep working towards your goals. Don't give up. And I do feel like Spirit has listened to you. They have heard what it is that you're trying to achieve and what you're wanting to get towards, and they are working with you. They are. And to remember that you do have this Empress energy and you do have that Ace of Wands. So this, they're going to bring in something for you guys that is going to aid you in moving forward with this project, with this idea. Okay, but just remember your target too, but also to look at that bigger picture as well. So, and I'm kind of hearing that as well. Some of you guys may have been that overly focused on that target that you've forgotten what it is that you're actually working towards. Sometimes too, we can do that, and we start focusing too hard on something, and we forget why we actually started it in the first place, or what the whole point of it actually was. And so for some of you, that can be, something here as well. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. We are going to get on to your last card here, and that is your spell card. But I do really hope that you enjoyed this reading, and let's see what the spell card has to say. Okay, guys, so for your spell card, you got an altar spell, and it's a candle centering meditation spell. So that may be really helpful for you guys to center yourselves, ground yourself, just to sort of refocus on what you're wanting to work towards. So to help center yourself, light a candle and meditate on it. By focusing on the flame, you bring your being and awareness into focus. Light your favorite meditation incense. Scratch your name into the candle with the tip of your bowline, which is a ritual knife. You don't typically use an athame, but you could use your athame, I suppose. But anyway, just anything that you can scratch into with a candle. It doesn't have to be a bowline if you don't have one. So scratch your hope into the candle and light your candle and recite. This candle burns for me. Here burns my hope for, and then say what you're hoping for. Here burns the flame of insight. May I see clearly in this new light. Sit with your eyes closed for a few minutes and picture yourself realizing your most heartfelt hopes and truest desires. Great. So this isn't just about centering yourself. This is about, again, centering, right, that target, going towards those goals. So you may want to put some of those goals and what you're working towards in this meditation spell. So that is really cool, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed today's reading. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you did like today's reading, please like, and if you haven't already, do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you are subscribed, once again, thank you so much for being a part of the family. And if this did resonate with you and you would like to tell me something about today's reading, please leave me a comment down in the comment section. Love to read it. Other than that, guys, take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hi, Pile 3, and welcome to today's reading. So we are taking a look at what it is that you need to know, anything and everything that wants to come out from Spirit. So this reading could literally go anywhere, and we're just going to go with the flow. So before we get into your cards, I have dealt 3 main energies, star signs that are present in today's reading. So this could be in relation to you and could be in your chart, sun, moon, rising, or this just could be some main energies coming through from the reading itself. So we have Cancer, we have Aquarius, and we have Leo. So those are the 3 signs there, and now we're going to get on into your cards. Okay, so let's get into your cards. So pile 3. Now, for each pile, I have dealt a little spell card, and we're going to get to your spell at the end of the reading. But I've also dealt a Making Magic card, and these have witchy symbols and things on them, spiritual symbols, as well as a message. You guys got the Spirit card, and it says, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Now we do have 5 tarot cards for you today. These are the World, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Justice card. You also got in your Oracle Fear with Hyena, number 38, breaking down to an 11, breaks down to 1. We also have Observation with Peregrine Falcon, 25, breaking down to a 7. We also have Hold Your Vision with Fixed Moon, and we have What Do You Need to Release with Waning Moon. So, what do I want to start with? We're going to start with the Justice card, I think. Because I think I'm going to start with it because I think a lot of times people really fear this Justice card. It's a love or a hate situation, I think, with this card. You know, some people see it and they go, oh God, what's going to happen to me? And then other people see it and think, oh, yay, finally, something, you know, coming to justice because, you know, perhaps there's been an injustice. So yes, that's what this card can talk about. If there has been an injustice, this talks about justice coming. Okay. Justice being restored, putting the wrong right. But this also talks about being held accountable for your actions, so being aware of the choices you make going forward. And this can also talk about the search for truth. So I am saying it separately like that for a reason, because I think all of these may have resonance for you guys, because of course this is a general reading, as to what this reading is actually talking about today. So now we do have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. These talk about new beginnings. This is new energy, new ideas coming through. You know, this is just like a fresh start, you know. So, and of course, we've got both here as well, which I think is really great because the swords being sort of more like the divine masculine, right? And then we have like the cups energy being more the divine feminine. And with that justice card and the scales, typically on the standard justice depiction of the Rider-Waite, you know, this is kind of like your divine feminine and masculine sort of coming into balance, I feel here, or whatever it is that's coming through for you guys. You know, there's a balance of the feminine and masculine, which I really feel like is going to help you guys, you know, moving forward. So, and we do have the King of Wands here as well. And he's a leader, he's an entrepreneur. You know, the Wands card too, the funny thing about it is that, you know, the Wands, they're creative. It's a creative suit. However, the king himself actually isn't that creative because he's a leader. He's, you know, sort of more the delegator. And so he's sort of, it's kind of like, well, okay, I'll tell you this way, because I used to work at a hotel, right? I used to run conferences and events in a hotel. And so I would show up and I would have a look at what we called a BEO, which was a banquet event order. I had all the information about what I needed to know for what conferences were happening that day. So I had all the timings, the delegate numbers, and, you know, everything. And, you know, of course, we had to go to liaise with the clients and make sure that, you know, whoever was the organizer for the conference, that they were happy with the setups and the timings were correct and all that kind of stuff. And then after having done that, right, I had to go and relay that to my staff members and say, okay, this is what we're doing today. You know, this is what's happening. So I was the delegator. I was, you know, yes, the leader in that sense. But I was kind of relying a lot on the guys, you know, actually, you know, taking what I've said and turning it into action, making things happen. It's sort of like a play as well. It's like how all this stuff goes on behind the scenes, but you don't actually sort of see that. You don't sort of see it happening, but yet it's happening behind the scenes. It's kind of like the behind the scenes guy, but yet he's the one that's, behind everything in a sense, I don't know if that makes sense. Hope it does. But anyways, so, you guys may be in a leadership role right now, or you may be stepping into a leadership role, or just have these leadership qualities about you. And so the thing with the king is, because if you look at other, and I've spoken about this before in other readings, if you look at, say, the page, for instance, right, the page is someone who is a bit of a visionary, right? He comes up with ideas. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that a leader can't be a visionary person, because I'd like to think that I was. I had a lot of cool ideas. Not all of them were taken on, unfortunately, but I did have a lot of cool ideas to sort of do things differently and move things forward. But typically when we're talking about tarot, the page is more sort of that kind of a person. And they're sort of the one that's like, okay, well, I got the idea. Now what do I do? They pass it on to the knight. The knight goes, okay, I'm going to charge ahead with this idea. Right? They're the action person. Kind of like how I said I was the delegator, and then I had my staff to like, okay, now everything that I've said, you guys are going to go put that into action, right? And then, of course, that's all under the supervision and the guidance of this king of wands here, right? This leader. So, and as I said, this can be an entrepreneur as well. So maybe you're starting a business, maybe you own a business. So maybe you are the head honcho of your business, right? Head poncho or head honcho? I don't know. Sorry, guys. Is it head poncho? Yes. Anyways. So yeah. So, and look, we do have, look, we've got three people, the leader, obviously he has a following, right? So whatever you guys are doing, maybe you have a following, maybe you have followers, right? And we do have the well card here as well. So maybe you're reaching, out to other people. People are following in your footsteps, or they're at least, paying attention to you because you've got this sort of leadership energy about you, and you've, people naturally sort of gravitate in your direction, right? Because of your presence and your energy. So, but this can also talk about like if there's an opportunity to present itself, being ready to take that opportunity. So, with these aces coming in, this is new opportunities, this is new ideas, this is something new that's coming to you. So, there's a need, I think, coming up for you guys to embrace whatever is set before you, whatever is coming, a change in energy, whatever it is. And if you're already in this energy, again, we have the Hold Your Vision card here with the fixed moon. So Spirit wants you to hang on to this idea, okay? Excuse me, this is hanging on to this idea, moving forward, in this direction. Now, again, with this Justice card, I want to say something here. And the thing is, there's a lot of people, I really want to say something, but I'm going to hold off saying it. Actually, you don't know, I can say it. I can say it I'm not saying it in a way to, point fingers or anything, but I am going to say something because so with the King of Wands, right, this is, and the Justice card is about like being aware of the choices that you're making moving forward, right? Because you're accountable. We're all accountable for our actions, things like that. And sometimes there's that thing where people can get into these kinds of roles and the power gets to them a bit, and they sort of start making decisions that perhaps aren't the best decisions for everybody. And of course, when you're in a leadership role, it's not just you that's involved, it's other people as well, right? So and I am going to say this, but so I used to work with somebody, and basically we needed another supervisor because we were like having a lot of conferences, and so this person is going to remain nameless, and I'm only mentioning it because it really does sort of explain what I'm talking about here. So this is not to bag anybody out or anything, or to point fingers. Like I said, I'm just using this as an example. So I'm this is not to but so we needed extra help, and somebody was put in that role temporarily during a particular conference to help out with that conference. And that person actually turned to me and said, you're a good leader, but you still have to learn a few things. And I actually said, okay, what do I need to learn? I was very interested in, why he brought this up and why this person was saying this. And so anyway, and then they said, the thing that you've to learn is that the staff are sheep and you need to treat them like sheep. And in my head, I was thinking to myself, and that is why you may not stay in this leadership role, because if you're going to be like that, this whole thing is not going to work out. People are not going to respect you. People are not going to want to follow in your leadership if, you're going to take that attitude. And I very much, valued the staff that I was working with, and I, would like to think that I did show them the respect that they deserved for the work that they were doing. So I really didn't agree with his statement there. And I just felt like that was the power that had kind of gone to his head a little bit, because he was excited, like, I'm in charge for the duration of this conference. And it was kind of, that situation of, well, yes, but, you can't start acting in that way. And he really was kind of being like that. I shouldn't say he, but this person, right, was being like that for a majority of the conference, and the staff were kind of like, well, I don't particularly like the way that you're being, and I don't know that I want to follow in your footsteps because of how you're acting and how you're treating us and, your general demeanor. So I just, again, it's that thing. I feel like that, sorry, I really feel like I shouldn't have said that in a way, but at the same time, I did feel like it was a kind of a good example to explain what I'm talking about here, right, with the mix of the King of Wands and the Justice. So, yeah. So, and also too, like I said, this is this can be the Justice card being in search for truth as well, right? Because that's what we do when we want justice for something. We want the truth brought to light. We want the right people, put, given, hope and we want the good. We want the I can't even speak now, guys. We want the right people treated right. And we want the people that, have done something wrong to be treated, everyone gets treated fairly is what I'm trying to say, guys. I've completely messed up what I'm talking about now. Everyone is getting treated fairly, right? That's what we want. We want fairness. This is what the Justice card is about. And to get to that fairness, that all comes down to, what the truth is of the situation, right? So the Justice card can be about truth, is what I'm saying. So now we do have this card here, right? Fear, right? Hyena. So I do feel like this card, if you look at it, it's an interesting card because on one side You know, you've got this really cloudy, dark, you know, dry land, tree with no leaves kind of scenario, you know, skin and bones, just, you know, everything desolate, and, you know, there's no color, it's just all very dark, and well, it's fear. It's fear. And then we've got on the other side, you know, beautiful lush greenery, bright blue water, beautiful pink and orange skies, you know. And so for me, this card speaks of a couple of things. This can be almost like a transformational period, right? Of moving out of this sort of left-hand dark scenario into something better, right? But also too, this can be fear holding us back. It's almost like you can easily, there's no real distinctive line here, is there, on this card? So it's like you can step from one side to the other, but that all depends on this fear that is holding you back. So you can easily step out of this darkness, right, this dark side, and into the lush green, you know, that the sunny skies, you know, the happiness, all of this stuff, right, the good stuff that we all want. But fear often is something that holds us back, right? So when we talk about the Justice card and being in search for truth, you know, is there fear at play here? Is there a fear here to getting to the bottom of something, or to accepting maybe some of the choices that you've made? Because it's not always about the choices that we're about to make, but it's choices that we've made as well. So it's like holding yourself accountable for what, you know, decisions we've already made already, and where we are in our lives and what we've done. And so, you know, there's a level there of acceptance in that truth. But, you know, sometimes there's a lot of fear there as to fear-based thinking as to, you know, revealing those truths and to coming, you know, or bringing anything really to light with this Justice card. So, but fear, this could be a fear moving forward as well. Maybe you've got these ideas, maybe you know, there's a little bit of fear there that's holding you back. And, you know, Spirit really wants to show you that you have this King of Wands energy within you. They want you to step into this leadership role, right? And we do have the card here of what do you need to release. So again, I feel like this is this fear thinking, right? If you're trapped in this fear, there's a need to release this to move forward. I'm also hearing too, there's a need to release. There's a need to release. There's a need to release the outcome of a situation, right? Because sometimes we can focus too hard on the outcome of something, and it's not allowing us to make the right decisions or take the right steps in the process to getting to that outcome. Does that make sense? So I feel like there's a need to release, you know, needing to know how things are going to turn out, or you know, needing to know what the outcome is going to be for this whole situation here. And sometimes, you know, that can mean that we're overlooking, like I said, the now. And it's kind of almost that thing of like being, you know, our heads being in the future, or with this fear card, perhaps even in the past. And we're not focusing on the now. And by not focusing on the now, you know, we're missing out on important things that we should be doing now, or opportunities even that could be in front of us right now. Yeah. So with the World card, you know, this can talk about literal travel, but the World card is the last card in the major arcana, because after the World card we come back around to the Fool again, which is taking a leap of faith, right? So therefore, the World card becomes a card of completion, the end of something. Now we can talk about the end of cycles. So for some of you, this could be the end of this fear thinking if you're aware that you're in that energy, right? And you know that this is something that you need to release. This could be coming to that point of ending this cycle of fear, okay? And this could pair up with the Justice in the sense of justice is coming, to rid you of this fear, right? To break this cycle finally, right? This cycle, whatever that you've been going through, is going to be breaking. Now, this could be the completion too of a project or something, just something coming to an end. And if you haven't you're not close to completing anything, again, because we do have these two cups, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So this is about the new, perhaps if you've just started something, if you resonate with this energy being around you currently, then if you haven't completed anything, you're close to, or you're about to, whatever this is you're working on is going to come full circle, right? This is going to come full circle for you. So this can also talk about things needing to come to an end. So again, like I said, what do you need to release? What do you need to end? Right? What needs to come to an end? Again, this fear thinking for some of you, I feel this needs to end. Living in fear, okay? Because fear doesn't do anything for us. It really doesn't. And all it does is prevent us from moving forward. It heightens our anxieties and just all the dare I say negative, right, stuff that we can go through, and that can put obstacles in our own path, can build up walls, disconnecting us from the outside world or the other side, or connecting with other people and things like that. Fear, really, there isn't anything good about fear. And some people say, yeah, embrace your fears, and yes, I do believe that in a sense. I do think that, coming to terms with your fears is helpful, but I don't necessarily see it as like an embracing, because I don't think fear really does anything for us. I think it's about moving past these fears. So, you get to that point of acknowledging that you have these fears, but then it's that thing of being able to move beyond it and away from that kind of energy. I don't really see it as something that like necessarily fuels us or anything. I certainly think, if you're going to talk about the next card, we're talking about, the world being the end of the major arcana, and the next one starting again at the Fool, right? The Fool he's not held back by fear. He just jumps in. He's ready to go. He's taking that leap of faith, and he doesn't work from a place of fear. He doesn't take that leap of faith based on fear and going, okay, I'm embracing my fear and I'm moving forward. So I really don't see it like that. For me, it's an acknowledgement, yes, but then it's a moving on from, it's going beyond these fears. And so I feel like for you guys, this is something that some of you may be working on right now, or this is just coming in to tell you that you need to take a look at, your thoughts right now and what may be holding you back in moving forward with something. And again, just going back to that King of Wands energy too, again, being that leader, that, entrepreneur type energy, I really do feel like some of you guys are supposed to take your stuff out to the world. I think you're faces that are meant to be seen. I think that you are people that are meant to be heard by the world. So again, living in that fear or having that fear energy around you really isn't helping you to move forward, isn't helping you to step into that King of Wands energy that you have within you, and that can very well be a part of your destiny. Yeah, right. And for some of you too, this could be a literal thing as well. With the Justice cards, some of you may actually be in the legal system. You may be wanting to help people in the world, bring justice to the world. You could actually be in the literal justice field. So again, wanting to bring fairness to people, but also too, so you could be a leader in that sense. But also too, this could just be, you might be like a bit of a humanitarian. Maybe you just want to generally bring justice to the world, and make the world a better place. Now, we do also have this card here, Observation, with the Peregrine Falcon. So again, we did have that spirit card as well, that, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. So I do feel like with that and the observation that, you are being observed in a sense right now. You are being watched over. You are being guided right now. And I do feel like protected as well, because I'm thinking about how big this falcon is compared to the lady on the card here. And I'm sort of seeing Spirit sort of showing me like this big bird with the wings sort of like wrapping around you, so it's sort of like you are protected. So I do feel that. And I feel like your visions are protected as well, because it says hold your vision, right? And I feel like your visions are being protected as well. There may have been a situation for some of you. Maybe you had some things you're working on in the past. Maybe they didn't come to fruition. Maybe there was an injustice in regards to that. I for example, I've experienced this myself. Perhaps maybe you started, a project or something, and you were so excited about it, you raved about it to everybody, and maybe somebody literally might have taken your ideas and went with it. And, maybe now, you're getting a chance to start something new again and really have the chance to have it flourish, hold that vision. But that vision, I feel like too, like I'm saying, is protected. I feel like whatever this idea is, whatever this leadership role is, you're being protected at this time. But again, too, this could be protection, you wanting to protect others as well. Again, when I talked about the justice. So this is the falcon, right? Falcons represent, ambition, having a purpose. Again, very much connected to that king of wands energy, right? So, and they also represent, they are freedom as well. So again, connected to this justice card, I feel of justice coming, freedom, right? The right thing happening in a scenario. Fairness is what I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, I do feel like you are being observed a bit right now. Your spirit guides are around you. But like I said, there is a reason for that. And they are protecting you, but they are also guiding you forward. So yeah, I mean, just to sum up, guys, I think this, there is new energies definitely coming in for you guys. I do feel like there's a bit of an even balance here of the feminine and the masculine, which is good to have. And remembering that you are this king of wands, stepping into this energy, this leadership role, and something is coming to completion here. Or like I said, if that's not the case, whatever this new energy is, whatever this new thing is that you're working on, right, that you're leading, right, whoever you're leading, whatever you're leading, there's a sense of this, coming full circle for you. And this could be literal travel for some of you, involved travel, whatever this is that you guys are doing. But I also feel too, this is that ending this cycle here. What do you need to release, right? This ending this fear thinking, so that you're not working from a place of fear anymore. But there's other more positive things that are driving you forward, right? And we do have the justice card here. So fairness will be given in whatever situation you find yourself in. Fairness will be dealt. And whether that's, like I said, you guys, making sure to consider your consequences, your actions, moving forward, but whatever you do decide, justice, will be there in regards to that. but also too, it's like that justice coming perhaps from an injustice, and it's also that, you know, revealing of the truth. And again, I feel like that can relate to this Fiat card as well. So hold on to this vision, guys. Whatever is coming through for you, whatever you're working on right now, hold on to that. Really step into that King of Wands energy. That is your energy, guys. You are powerful, you are strong, you are a leader. So again, this could be entrepreneurship for some of you, and your vision is being protected right now. You are being protected and guided by spirit. So this was your message, guys. And we do have the spell card to read out to you guys. So I'm going to get to that card now, and we'll see what it has to say. Okay, guys, so for your spell card, we got a healing spell. Now, I know that, I just want to say, sorry, that was my stomach if you heard that, guys. It's been going off for your entire reading. So I know that not all of you guys are going to resonate with being witches or anything like that, so you may not really be into doing spells or anything, but this just may be something that might inspire you even to do something that is more, you know, in resonance with, you know, who you are and what you do. But this is just a little bit of guidance, so take it with a grain of salt, guys. Whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it, that's perfectly fine. It may just be something interesting to listen to. But we have Wednesday wisdom. So for abundant blessings or spiritual enlightenment, burn a white candle anointed with lavender oil on your altar during a waning moon on Woden's Day, Wednesday, right? Place a single white rose in water and lay a bundle of dried white sage beside rose incense. Light the incense, then take the sage bundle, light the end, and pass the smoke over your altar to smudge the space. And then chant, "May grace be bestowed upon thy spirit, and so it is by Magick sealed." And I really hope that was helpful for you guys there. This was your reading today, pile 3. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much. I love that you're a part of the fam. If this reading did resonate, leave me a message down in the comments if you wish to. Would love to read it. Other than that, guys, take care, and I will see you on the next reading. Bye.